welcome back to Destiny Palmistry lessons. We are still talking about the lifeline for this lesson. Previously we discussed other types of lifeline. Today we're talking about the arch of the lifeline and 3 different variations and the starting points of the lifeline. So I hope you will enjoy that, and I hope you've seen the other videos I've done before and subscribed as well. Don't forget, destinypalmistry.com. You can get lessons from me and you can read more articles about palmistry and hand analysis. I'm going to show you some more pictures now, and we're going to learn some more about the lifeline. Here you can see I've numbered 3 different types of lifelines. Number 1 being further away from the thumb, obviously. Number 3 being closer to the thumb with a smaller ball of thumb. So some lines like number 1 reach out towards the mount of moon, which I've described there. Sometimes it even touches the fate line. So I've discovered that when this occurs, it's got a significant meaning around that period where the person has a need for change, if it is connected to the fate line. So number 1, arching towards the mount of moon, sometimes even reaching and ending on the moon. It's a person who has many interests. They love travel and they love changes of scenery. So that would be the extroverted personality. Number 2, the broad line that curves well around the mount just shows an average amount of extroversion. It's somebody who's warm and affectionate, but they're a little bit more reserved, a little bit less outgoing. It's basically the average lifeline. Sorry, I had a little glitch there. So number 3, when it's closer to the thumb with very little arc to it or arch, the person lacks a little bit of energy. They may not be as affectionate as those with a large arch, and they're a little bit selfish or cold emotionally. They don't have interest in people, and especially if the mount is very flat, they're not a very social person at all. Just recapping that, so the wider arch on the lifeline shows someone with more interests, a love of travel, love changes in scenery. And someone with a less of an arch to the lifeline shows less energy, less affection. They like to stay closer to home, not fond of too much change or travel. Now looking at the start of the lifeline, as you can see here, I've numbered 1, 2, 3. Number 1 being at the very top above the headline, where it starts from the Mount of Jupiter. Mount of Jupiter stands for ambition, leadership, your ego, self-esteem. And so a lifeline that starts way higher than the headline shows a very ambitious, intellectual kind of person. Number 2, being at the average start, which is very close to or even tied to the headline, that shows an average amount of ambition, average amount of ego and leadership skills. Number 3, this line needs to be like very low. When you have a lifeline that's separate from the headline, it shows somebody who is an individual and usually a very outgoing person. But if it is tucked into the thumb, that gives a more shy quality. When it's to the extreme, it shows not a lot of ambition, but it does show someone who's very practical. So you can understand that it seems to be a bit of contradiction. When the lifeline is separate from the headline, it can appear to be set low, but that's not always the case. You do have to look at it quite carefully. And the lifeline joined to the headline shows close family ties. We learnt that in the first video, and hopefully we will be able to understand the difference. I'll see if I can get another picture up for you. Here we are. This one, the top line there, the dotted line, shows a separated lifeline from the headline. And that shows impulsiveness, impatience, and sometimes extroversion, someone who is very independent. The difference between the lifeline being separated but tucked in from the thumb is where I mean by to the extreme. So that counteracts the meaning and makes the person more introverted and less outgoing. That's all I have time for today. But next video, we're going to be talking about the marks on the lifeline, and that's going to be a very important subject for you to learn. I look forward to doing that one with you. In the meantime, please go ahead and subscribe and check out all my other videos I've done so far. I'll see you next time. Bye.